I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the... Leave anything you don't need behind.
You know what you have to do.
I won't let you down. Come on. Run like the wind. Time to fight. Deserve a rest. This one. All yours, Torgal. Your reign is over. Article. This looks like the stuff. Let's see if there's any more. That should do it. If Hawaii needs more than this, he can fetch it himself.
There's talk at the glass game.
Citizens are free to come and go as they please. Checkpoints open through.
Did you hear? The gates to heaven.
I want to see you again.
It's all right. What am I going to do without sweet water and oil of talc?
Milady.
Gif. Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it to you. To settle the Hideaway's debt with the Veil, and to compensate you for the time.
I thought you might finally be warming to. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much. The man owes me nothing. Nor my contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly.
You once told me, Sid, did you? I'd like to do the same. And for Otto's. For all of us.
Otto is... I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the Hideaway...
Otto had us.
Long ago. Yes. And blamed himself for not being able to stop. I don't know how it happened. Whether there was anything he could have done.
I didn't know.
How could you have? Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear an ill habit. Given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate. Give my regards to Otto. And tell him I do so miss his visits. Clive, we weren't expecting.
I wasn't expecting, but it seems we still owe you, and though I doubt it's what you were expecting.
A star, Ruby? It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if...
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever buy. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about a bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to sell your debts, isn't it? The old goat works...
Something like that. Most days I think he's...
Same as all. Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander. Word is, he was the first one Sid reached. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea... Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but and when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it.
His death was hard on everyone.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the... I reckon what he saw in Sid... And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as that, and you keep good...
Goat will want to know the stones were delivered. If he's still with us.
Suppose now I have to find someone who can actually afford us... Ruby.
Well, it's certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope, it would seem like just the place.
I doubt we'll find one bigger than that. hungry, Torgal?
Now. Will it be enough? I say that answers my question, which means we owe the lawsmen our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy. That feel good, boy. Seems this one has a little more life left in it. All right then.
Oh. Oh my god.
Back to sleep with you. People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Kara's collector.
Back again, are you? Any more trouble in your big master life?
What are we gonna do?
My reputation will be ruined.
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you.
Pardon the...
Out! Get up! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf!
Very good. Would you mind stepping outside?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? No. That's just how his lordship is. He has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also...
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was
Ah, you...
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my...
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went.
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made on his law, every ill-gotten coin in Dalamon is said to pass through that
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange...
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell. It's a wonder...
Goodbye, Ambrosia. That'll do, girl. Good girl.
Yeah!
Time to fight. Time to fight.
We've got company!
Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off!
This must be Ignax. Nothing seems to be all right.
I hear I have you. What should I call you, my good man?
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
For me? Well, Wyvern, I appear to... Redeem here tells me you wished for an order.
A few moments of your time should suffice.
You're a peculiar fellow.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about us.
Oh, true. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school. They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike. And each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only. There's a brutal sort of beauty to it.
But how do they hone such an edge?
Why, they use a whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10, but it is the final stone which lends the blade a mineral quite foreign to this great realm. And that is the... Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to service. Take this, the very stone of which I spoke. Far rarer among collectors than even the blade, and a far more.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship. However, it is...
I am locked in bitter competition with the right. I am one step ahead of the unscrupulous.
Are there many other collectors?
Too many to count. But only one do I consider my nemesis, and is a perennial thorn in my side. Farewell, Wyvern, may our paths cross again. Radim, we mustn't do...
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Coming, my lordship.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such now. Let's see what black...
I take it Drake's fang was your doing, Sid.
You really are quite the out...
Is that the thing Tomes helped?
Ned told me she was building a ship.
Good. So Lady Karen accepted...
Ah, but she was just too stubborn. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my...
Karen refused...
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever.
Oh, wonderful.
Is that you done then? Let's not rope you into building the rest of the boathouse ship.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere. So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough. That'll teach me for treating you like you're still... All right, now we know what you're after. I can see about getting...
Speaking of which, I brought one for later.
You can, aye. In return, you can thank Tomes for me.
I was just on my way to see him. Lady Karen, Goad tells me you weren't happy with... Would you prefer the debt was...
What debt? I don't recall lending any... I may have tossed a talent or two, but those were donations. And you can hardly...
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. And our circumstances have changed. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a prince.
Oh, fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for us. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself and asked. Might be I already have a buyer in. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's... You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all.
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones. Thanks to this luck, I sometimes wonder why.
Speaking of which,
Oh! So you remember what's owed to you, then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy soul couldn't be bothered to find a clue.
I knew so little about...
I must be.
Martha and the Dame both seemed to have fond memories. How long did you know Sid?
Before he died. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship. He bought passage to... I forget where. We set up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back. Quit my post not long after that. On account of me and Sid stayed close. That was... before the magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family?
My family? Well, they wanted the monster. I couldn't turn my back on him, and I couldn't for the life of me understand it. Luckily, it was him who stood beside me when all I wanted, him who cried for me, him who swore he'd do everything he... And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. Threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong that no one else had. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends of... He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
Hmm? What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone. I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather go with the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This will do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
Might need some help,
All right there, Sid? How's that hunt for...
I have it here.
That's the stuff. And plenty of it, too. You're a gent, Sid. Right then. Let's...
Telemon Malembic. Very impressive.
Says the man who cut down a burning boulder. Speaking of which...
There's no need. The good it will do.
Newbies. Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potions in.
What?
Well, We happen to have isolated a substance in our test run of the Olympic that I reckon will make even the toughest leather. Thought we might use it to breathe new life into old boots and the like. Ah, I reckon if we slap a bit on your bag, it'll loosen it up enough for you to...
Well,
that's the spirit. Leave it with... Well?
It certainly feels more...
Right?
Thank you.
No nerve for supporting Mid and the rest of us in our endeavours. Without you, we'd never have been able to discover. And I'm telling you, there's plenty more where that... That leather loosener was only the first of the discoveries the Olympic's gonna help us make.
Wish I could take one of our birds.
Sorry for the word. Hopefully he'll agree it was worth it.
You learned something about that sword?
I did better. Yes. But not one you'll find anywhere in Valisthea.
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish on the ground. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent will be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there...
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel, I could probably even make it, but there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it. If that swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a cinder. No point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax. Like finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more, just imagine it. Good Valisthean steel. I won't make a copy, nah. I'll make something much...
I'm sure the curse breakers will be just...
Don't you worry, I'll be working day and night since I was half your age. And I'll still be here when you're long gone. Hey, I owe you one. August 2. It's good to know.
You'll be happy to hear you.
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First new blade I make's got your name on it. You come and find me when you've got the material.
Right.
What do you want? And how am I meant to do that then? Anything else?
Thank you, Clive.
Sid! Look what the... Said they were all the rage in Dalamil. Looks sort of funny. Have you had...
Something smells.
bombs? And they are good.
Hey? The bloody great hole in it. Who ain't the...
It's supposed to be hollow, silly. Haven't...
You look like you could do with a drink.
Oh, keep your mug out.
The nobleman who visited.
Was that really Sid's
Ah, were you able to...
We were indeed, Lawsman. You pointed us in exact...
Very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way.
Ah. But that reminds me, you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in...
About how she somehow...
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. But one which the Fenrir of legend served, and while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature.
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, and that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to yours. One can but speculate as to how all of this has affected Torgal.
He has seemed more...
And if I am not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed. How good it is to see you, Clive. I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. What subject shall we consider today?
I'm never drinking again.
Impressive, isn't it? I can't wait to see how the rest of the vessel looks.
Is that the thing Tomes helped with?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon.
I gave you that one, didn't I? You've already got that one. All yours. You earned this. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Clive. We'd finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting. No excuses now.
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of.
She said that?
She...
Clive, were you born yesterday or something? She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. Obeleth.
Yep. You in a hurry and all, are you? Oh, I offered to take her across, but she wouldn't wait. But anyway, I was on my way. Got a letter. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it.
Thank you, Obeleth.
Don't me.
What? Trouble in camp. Well, I'll need...
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sun?
Well, but next time you plan on visiting Sid, you might want to tie her to something before you...
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Got to admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Just like when we built this place. Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty short. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked.
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind them?
You can get on. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth at least. Well, Sid, I remember what you told me. That if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it. But I will say this, old friend. Hugo Cooker is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in two places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the lost.
Not even the Phoenix can bring people back from the dead. Life has a beginning and an end. So we must live while we have the chance. And not as slaves to the crystals, but as free men.
May we join you?
Lady Karen, what a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies. It wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The blind march is on. And soon, there'll be no escaping sights like these. So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in Storm is Drake's tail in the Crystalline Dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you, but we do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
We would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goods.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go with them? Oh, thanks, man.
Stop that! You'll break me bones, you great galoot! There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklad markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goose's traders pass, and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
Okay then. I'll get me things, and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bocklad.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill, you're with me.
Understood.
And Gav.
Already on my way, Captain.
Be careful.
Aren't I always?
Do you see that, Sid? Your protege's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
How are you feeling?
Better. Thanks to Taya.
I'm glad to hear it.
And Torgal helped too. Didn't you, boy?
This used to be a trade route for merchants crossing the Scars, till the Republic laid a new road wide enough to let wagons pass, and all official traffic moved there.
Leaving this one for those living outside the law.
Indeed. I doubt we'll be the only outlaws on the trail today.
So what do you think?
That we...
Really?
Oh, aye. There's trouble up ahead.
I take it there's danger.
Oh, what about this fearsome looking...
Well, no doubt. Well met, friend. My brother and I have been tasked with finding...
How does a merchant misplace his...
Oh, the man's a coward. When he thought goblins might come a-snarling, he
sent the two of us to fetch it, but it's gone. Now, I'm not much of a thinker, but I know the work of thieves when I see it.
My brother's right on all accounts. And by my estimation, the bastards are lying in wait.
We may have seen our share of action, true, but we've not got the skill in arms to boldly brave an ambush.
You, however, have the look of a man who needn't fear a band of backwater ruffians. What do you say? Chances are they'll come for you either way. But if you promise to lend us a hand, at least you'll pocket a reward for your...
Well, if I'm going to have to deal with them...
You've clearly got a fine head on those.
We're lucky. Now, hoping to make a heavy purse in Bocklad, our merchant friend loaded his cart with... Reckon he won't be forking over the rest of our fee if we don't find those goods. So...
All right. Just don't...
Nope. You just put an end to those bandits and point us in the right direction.
You'll be doing Bocklad? Favor if you can clear out that pass.
I'm not sure I trust those two. But if there are bandits lying in wait, I should probably take care of them.
Good morning, you lot. We've got guests.
These must be our bandits.
Over here! Titan! Get him! This one.
That's them dealt with. Now, where's that cart? Getting all of this out of here will be enough.
Seems we found ourselves the right...
Found the cart and didn't leave a single bastard breathing.
And how exactly will he be getting his goods?
You leave that to us. After all, it'd be wrong to make such a fine warrior haul cabbages to...
You've done your part. It's been a pleasure.
There's no need to be so. What if we want his help again next?
You've had your reward and you're not getting any more. Now piss off. You've had your reward and you're not getting any more.
I see the Dalnecs lag behind Rosaria when it comes to bridge building.
The fallen ruin should hold, at least. The path continues on the other side. So this is Zemeckis.
The land of the gods. It's even more impressive than I imagined. I remember being captivated by the story as a child.
Long, long ago, man was overcome by avarice and challenged the gods in a bid to win their power. The final battle took place here, at these falls. Or so the legend goes. If anyone ever manages to plumb those depths, perhaps we'll learn if there's any truth to the tale.
That the gods emerged victorious and punished man for his defiance by visiting upon him 2 curses.
Dominance and bearers. To tell the truth, I always thought it strange that the dominant and their icons were deemed a curse. Back home, the dominant inherited the throne. They were admired and exalted, not spurned. Whenever I got to that part of the story, I always assumed there must be something I'd misunderstood.
You had a lot of storybooks, didn't you? In your room, I mean. When we were young.
The old legends were always my favorites. Epic battles between gods and men. Father encouraged me to read as much as I could. He thought it good for my education.
You really were a boy like any other, weren't you?
Just look at this place.
That's enough to make you believe the legends are true.
I know.
We're not far from Boklad. The road will be busier up ahead.
And we'll have to keep our wits about us. Clive? Something wrong?
Nothing. It's nothing.
I see the reports are true, Father. You have surrendered the throne to Olivier.
I have. Emperor Olivier shall rebuild the Holy Empire of Sanbreque.
How is he to rule an empire? He is but a boy.
I shall advise him until he comes of age.
Father, please.
Or for as long as I am able. The Empire we seek to build needs young blood to rule, and I can think of none better suited to the task. There is other news, Dion. Hugo Kupka is dead, and Drake's Fang destroyed. The pillars of the Republic have fallen. Ere long, the Imperial banner shall fly over every city in Storm. And then, Valisthea. All shall bow before their Emperor.
Father, these are the words of a tyrant.
They are the words of a god. The Emperor whom I gladly serve. Great Greeker, made flesh. Return to your camp, Dion, and ready your forces. It is time to show the world the true power of Sanbreque.
Father, I find you much changed. Is this truly the path you wish to tread? Or are these the ambitions of another? Of Ultima, perhaps?
What nonsense is this? I speak my mind, and my mind only. Though I do owe Annabella thanks for reminding me of certain truths regarding the nature of nations, of rulers, and of the divine.
You would trust the words of this traitress. She betrayed her country. She slew her husband.
You have ever been an invaluable servant to Sanbreque, Prince Dion. I trust you will continue to serve your Emperor in the wars to come.
Canker! Silence! Insolent wretch! You will bend the knee. All else is heresy.
Sire, forgive me.
This audience is over. Come, your radiance. The Rowena Syndicate awaits your pleasure.
Oh, not another meeting with silly old men. They're so boring.
I'm hungry, Father. Can't we have luncheon instead?
Does it pain you that you will not inherit your father's throne?
I have suffered worse.
Count your blessings, Dion. For a base-born child to be chosen by Bahamut is miracle enough. You have risen high on his wings, but you shall rise no higher, lest your impure blood stain the throne.
What do you know of my blood?
The Boklab markets are to the north. We just need to hug the coast.
Get him!
Now, Torgo!
Infiltrating the Dominion won't be easy with the Imperials on high alert.
No. His Radiance has lost one capital already. We can be sure Sylvester will do everything in his power to hold on to Twinside. His troops are well-trained and increasingly battle-hardened. But it's not as if we can wait for the siege to end.
Right. Headed over to the Crystalline Dominion too, are you? Good guild we made there.
Come on. Run like the wind. More refugees.
And they're all making for the Crystalline Dominion.
Because they don't know how to live without the crystal's blessing. Back to the stables, girl.
Buckler.
There are no crystals here.
This is where we're supposed to meet Goots, isn't it?
That's right. He said he'd wait for us here after replenishing his supplies. I dare say he'll have finished by now.
What do you think, girl?
This is everything.
Let me carry your goods.
Well met. Many thanks. A fine choice. May Gilbert smile upon you.
Wonders from across the water. Come one, come all. Feast your eyes. Good sir, can I interest you in...
How much? For a measly crust of bread?
You won't find any cheaper. Not nowadays. But you're more than welcome to look.
The Empire's unlawful and illegitimate occupation of the Crystalline Dominion is still in effect. Only those whose business in Twinside has been officially approved by the Republican Army will be permitted to cross the border. All who seek entry are to form a line and ready their documents for inspection.
It looks like we aren't the only ones who are eager to leave.
And they're checking everyone.
Can't you make an
Not for the likes of you.
We won't get through without that pass. Let's go and find Good, shall we? He must be around here somewhere.
Now